Alrighty, so we are looking at some more angles, but this time it has expressions included. So there's some things that we need to know. If we look at this angle and we look at this group, right, and see how it corresponds down here, top left goes to top left, right? So that means 5 is the same thing as negative x plus 87. And then 5 is vertical to this, which means the two are equal to each other. So knowing that information, we can solve what the degree of the angle is by setting the two equal to each other. Okay, so since they're vertical angles, essentially, this lays right down onto 5. 5 is vertical to here. We can set them equal and solve. So then it brings us right back to this. Yay! Don't call me after midnight. There's no distribution. I cannot combine anything on the left, cannot combine anything on the right. Move the smaller variable. So negative x is my smaller variable, means we're going to add x. So that gets us 87 equals 5x plus 117. And then we're going to get rid of the addition or subtraction by the variable. So we're going to subtract 117. So that's going to get us 87 minus 117. Let's see, 87 minus 117 equals negative 30. And then we're going to do the multiplication or division by the variable. So we're going to divide by 5. So the answer is x equals negative 6, okay? So x equals negative 6, but it wants us to find the measure of angle 4. Oh, well, dang. That's at a measure of angle 4. Well, good thing is that's vertical too, right? So that's also going to be equal. So that means that we can take the negative 6 and substitute it into either one of these equations. So I want to talk about the top one. If you're going to substitute into this, be really careful. What this technically means is negative 1 times x plus 87. So when you substitute the negative 6 in here, it's technically negative 6. Oh, wait, let's go back. Negative 1 times the negative 6 that we got for x plus the 87. So when you have that negative in there, make sure that you have a double negative, which essentially makes it a positive, right? And then we're going to take 87 and add 6, and that gets us 93. So the measure of angle 4 is going to be 93. So just to recap, we took the two pieces, we know that they were vertical angles, we set them equal to each other so that we know what x equals. And then it wants us to find the measure of angle 4, which we know is going to be congruent or corresponding to the vertical. So that means when we substitute that in, that's going to be the same measurement. Okay, so lots of pieces on this one. All right, next up, it says find the measure of angle 6. So this is the part that we don't know. And I have a call coming in. Can I pause it? Yes. No, I can't. Okay, we'll figure it out. Then we're going to go ahead and take this information and use it. So let's see. We know that this angle and this angle are equal to each other, right? So we can take that information and solve for x. So let's do that. We're going to have 3x plus 158 is equal to negative 2x plus 93. And we're going to solve this. Don't call me after midnight. There's no distribution. There's no combining like terms on either side. Now we're going to move the smaller variable. So instead of subtracting 2, we're going to add 2. And that's going to get us 5x plus 158. And then we're going to get rid of the addition or subtraction next to the variable. So we're going to subtract 158. I'm going to put that in the calculator. I got 93 minus 158 is negative 65. And then we're going to divide by 5, which is negative 13. Okay, so now we know what x equals. We're going to substitute it into this one. And the reason I'm choosing this one is because it wants us to solve for this. And what we need to know, this is a supplementary angle, which means it's going to add to 180, right? So that gives us lots of information there. So first thing we're going to do is 3 times negative 13 plus 158. So we took what x equaled, and we're substituting it in right here, okay? So 3 times negative 13 is negative 39, plus 158 is 119, okay? So that tells us that this right here is 119 degrees. And it makes sense because it's an obtuse angle, right? But to get the degree of 6, I have to know that that adds up to a supplementary angle, which is 180. So we're going to do 180 minus 119, and that's going to tell us our missing piece. So 180 minus 119 is 61. Okay, so lots of thought processes being used through here. First things first, we knew that, let me kind of change my colors here maybe. It's not letting me. We knew that we're going to take the two angles, they're alternate interiors, so we can set them equal to each other. We solve that, gets us x equals negative 13. We take that, substitute it into this piece right here. Once we get that answer, we're going to subtract it from 180 because these are supplementary angles, and that's going to get us our missing piece of 61. Okay, so this is applying everything we've been talking about. Okay, let's look at another one. Find the measure of angle 3. So 3 is going to be vertical to this one here. So that means that this is also going to be vertical here because it's corresponding. So I'm going to go ahead and set that up and put them equal to each other. And we're going to use don't call me after midnight. There's no distribution, no combining like terms. We're going to move the smaller variables. So we're going to subtract 2x. So that gets me 4x minus 2x is 2x. And then we're going to have to get rid of the addition or subtraction. So we're going to subtract 23. So 41 minus 23 is 18. And then we're going to have to multiply or divide by the variable, which means we're going to divide by 2, which gets us x equals 9. Okay, notice I didn't put all the scratch work in. That's what you're going to start seeing in geometry. Okay, so x equals 9. Sorry. We're going to substitute that in right here because we know that these two are vertical. So we don't need to even look at the other piece then. I mean, we could, but we don't have to. So 4x plus 23, we're going to substitute the 9. So 4 times 9 plus 23. And let's see, 4 times 9 is 36, plus 23 gets us 59. Okay, so that means our measure is going to be 59. So that's that piece. Let's see if there's anything any different on these. They're the same concepts, that's why I grouped them together. But let's see. All right, so we have find the measure of angle 2. So measure of angle 2 is here. So again, these two angles are going to be supplementary. So we're going to have to use that information here in a little bit. However, we also know that if I group these, this one falls here, and then it's vertical, so that means that they're going to be equal to each other, right? So again, using all the information, 252 equals negative 4x plus, minus 8. My bad, be careful when you copy. Minus 8, okay? And then good old trusty Rusty, this is why I love to use this. Don't call me after midnight. There's no distribution. I can't combine on like terms. Move the smaller variable. So instead of subtracting 4x, we're going to add 4. So 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13x. And then we're going to have to get rid of the addition or subtraction. So we're going to subtract 252. So I'm going to put that in the calculator. Negative 8 minus 252 is negative 260. And then we have to multiply or divide, which means we're going to divide by 13. So negative 260 divided by 13 equals negative 20. So we know that x equals negative 20. We're trying to find the measure of angle 2. So let's go back up here and erase some of this. So that means we know, again, angle 2 is supplementary to this angle over here. So let's see what that angle measures. So we're going to substitute 9 times -20 plus 252. So -20 times 9 is -180 plus 252 gets me 72. So that means this angle is 72 degrees. We want to find angle 2. So again, these are supplementary, which means they equal 180. So we're going to do 180 minus 72, and that's going to get us our answer. 180 minus 72 equals 108. So our answer finally is 108. So it's quite a bit of steps, but it's not steps that we haven't already done, and you have to think through the process. I'm going to do one more, and then you'll be able to try them on your own. So let's see. Ooh, these are alternate interior angles, so we know that they're equal to each other. And we want to find the measure of angle 7, which is also going to be equal. So that one makes our steps pretty simple, right? We're going to take 2x plus 87, set it equal to -8x plus 17. And don't call me after midnight. No distribution, no combining like terms. We're going to move the smaller variable. So our -8, we're going to add it. That's going to get us 10x. Then we're going to get rid of the addition or subtraction by the variable. So we're going to subtract 87. So it gets us 10x equals 17 minus 87, which is -70, which gets us x equals -7 because we have to multiply or divide, right? So we know that x equals -7. We're going to take that -7 and substitute it in right there because these two are vertical angles, which tells me they're going to be equal to each other. So 2 times -7 plus 87. Well, 2 times -7 is -14. And throw that bad boy in the calculator. 14 negative plus 87 gets us 73. So that means both of these are going to be 73 because they're vertical angles. So if you need more instruction with this, feel free to schedule a time to meet with me. But it's taking everything we've been doing and solving per step.